Did you ever wonder what innovation caused this spoon to be square and hollow on the end? Hey, it's Don Skaggs, again with Empowered Inventing TV, where we try to help you help other people by taking your great innovation, the right opportunity, mixing that with sound wisdom, so you, no, not someone else, but you can turn them into real things like products and businesses that may actually make money. And those people that you help, well, they end up saying thank you. Please let us give you the opportunity to continue helping us by sending you certificates of appreciation called dollar bills. That's how it works, boys and girls. So, I've got a question for you today, and that is, this is a McFlurry cup, McDonald's McFlurry cup. And this is the spoon. So if you go to McDonald's and you buy a McFlurry ice cream treat, I think is what they officially call these things, you'll get a spoon like this. And this spoon has kind of an odd feature. If you'll notice, if you look real close here, it's got a square base, a square handle that's hollow. You can actually see into this. It's also got this little nib, this weird little nib thing right here. So other than that, it's just kind of a spoon. It's got two little holes back here, but you know, no other big hole, no hole down here. So why is it hollow? Why is it square? Why does it have this protrusion on the end? Well, according to one video on social media, because you know, social media is the end all of all human wisdom, at least that's what some people think. Thanks, TikTok. A lot of people thought this was a straw. And, you know, all you have to do is really look on this other end and to kind of know, okay, you really can't make this. These two holes here are on the side, and they're like halfway up, and that's really not going to serve as a straw at all. So, and that's not what it is. So if they thought that, they'd be wrong. So McDonald's had a problem. They wanted to introduce, and this was like back in the 1980s, they wanted to introduce a firm ice cream to compete with the Dairy Queen Blizzard that had just came out in the 80s. They ended up calling it the McFlurry. We all kind of know what that is now if you've ever been at McDonald's and ordered one of these things. But they were wanting to get this firm ice cream and mix in things like Oreos and candy bits and, you know, all the things you normally see in a McFlurry. So, and also in a Blizzard, by the way. So, but they wanted to do that without cleaning the mixer in between each customer, because, you know, you had different things in there and cross-contamination and all the rest of that stuff. So they didn't want that really labor-intensive of, okay, we got to take the thing down, we got to clean it, then we got to restart it. And so they didn't want to do that. So they were trying to solve this problem that they had with this. And also they wanted to be able to mix it with something, a spoon, and also, if you're eating ice cream with a spoon, you don't want that spoon to break. So they needed some kind of spoon that was heavy duty, would not break. So enter David Brown. David Brown co-founded a company called Flurry International. Yep, that's where the McFlurry ended up getting its name. So he called it Flurry International, and his whole creation of this company was to solve this problem for McDonald's and a lot of other places across the country that were trying to compete with the Dairy Queen Blizzard. They were wanting to mix in, take a hard ice cream or I guess soft serve or whatever it is they put in there, and they want to mix it around, but they didn't want to clean the mixer. So they said, hey, let's turn the spoon into part of the mixer, and so this just fits up in there. I guess this protrusion like hangs onto it in some way. Don't really know what the purpose of the holes are, but I'm sure they have one. I'm sure somebody will probably inform me later on social media. But you know, he was wanting to compete with that. By the way, side note, Dairy Queen opened in 1940. But their Blizzard, they didn't introduce that Blizzard thing that's like, I guess, one of their popular staple products until like 1985. And prior to 1985, and now I'm going to tell them how old I am, I actually had an idea for, I said, you know, it'd really be neat if they put candy down in their ice cream at Dairy Queen. Not that I need any more ice cream or candy or anything like that, but I actually kind of had that idea. You know, I never did anything with it. It was, you know, hey, what was I, 5 in 1980? No, not really. But anyway, so what can we learn from all this, though? So David Brown solved 2 problems with 1 solution, and I think we can kind of take a good lesson from that, from him going after 2 problems and solving it with just 1 solution. If you can find 1 pain point and solve it, that's great. That's, you know, you might have a home run of a product. But if you can solve 2 or more problems at the same time with your innovation, that's big. That can really be something. And they've got to be good, painful problems that customers recognize in the marketplace, of course. Another thing, like I said before, Dairy Queen Blizzards was a thing in the 80s. And McDonald's and others needed to compete, but they couldn't bear that labor cost. They didn't want that in-between mixing, wash thing, a labor-intensive thing. They didn't want that as part of their process. That was just, it was too labor-intensive for them. So if you can find a big wave in the marketplace, the next Dairy Queen Blizzard, and then you see these competitors that are wanting to come up and kind of get a piece of that marketplace. Hey, everybody's loving these Dairy Queen Blizzards. Well, why don't we jump into this? Well, if you can capitalize by giving that competition another edge with your innovation. So a lot of times there's opportunities. Like I said, there's opportunities out there all the time for the right innovation. So another thing that I thought was really interesting was that his patent, David Brown's patent for this, was a design patent. And I really didn't expect that. It was not a utility patent. And if you're not familiar, a design patent is all about the shape. So it's about the shape. Okay, say it's hollow. Okay, it's square. It's got this, you know, certain shape to it. And so his was a design patent. And a lot of people kind of overlook that. And I would have expected utility. There was a lot of utility to that. But he did well with a design patent. Design patents can have a lot of value if you have the right strategy. And you say, you know, if the shape is as important as the function, then you know, you can leverage that, and it might be the right way to go for you. So plus, you know, design patents are many times shorter, cheaper, easier to obtain than the more complicated utility patents, many times. So what big pain point are you seeing in an overlooked place? Let me know in the comments. And if you're looking for more on picking that right idea, that $1 million idea, well, you want to check out the Empowered Inventing Academy course, Do I Have the Next $1 Million Idea? And you can find that at empoweredinventing.com. Some courses are ready to start taking. Some you might want to get on a waiting list for, because and we'll let you know just the minute they're released. So anyway, I'm Don Skaggs. This is Empowered Inventing TV. Like, subscribe, help us to build our tribe, and I'll look to see you at the next meeting, workshop, maybe one of our online courses, or on the next video.